New photos of Anthony Joshua's wrecked car show how he came within inches of death after a crash in Nigeria. The heavyweight British boxing champion was traveling in a Lexus Jeep when it smashed into a stationary truck shortly after 11 a.m. 2 of the 5 people involved in the crash tragically lost their lives, but Joshua survived with just minor injuries and was taken to a local hospital. A friend of the star said that he's okay, but badly shaken up.
Just to give some context for any of our listeners and viewers who don't have the full picture, it happened on a major road near the Nigerian city of Lagos. That was at around midday local time yesterday, 11 a.m. UK time here. The 2 men who lost their lives were both Joshua's friends, but also parts of his close team, which makes it all the more tragic. So Sina Agami was his strength and conditioning coach, and Lateef Ayo Deli was his personal trainer. Absolutely awful news that Joshua's lost both of those 2. He emerged from the wreckage in one piece, which we're all grateful for here at Talk Sport. For context as well, the Nigerian officials say the black Lexus they were in collided with a stationary red truck. It was on this Lagos to Ibadan expressway. It's known as one of Nigeria's deadliest roads, with particularly heavy traffic, Jeff, at this time of year, as many Nigerians are heading back to their home country to spend some time with their loved ones over the festive period. We're told the car they were in actually lost control during an overtaking manoeuvre and then crashed into this stationary truck on the side of the road. Pictures circulating on social media after the crash show a crowd of onlookers then gathering around the wreckage. Joshua then emerging from that vehicle, and many people who have seen that on the back pages of many national newspapers today, and the front pages actually. Both Joshua and the driver survived, so 2 managed to emerge in one piece. 2 sadly lost their lives. They were immediately evacuated, Jeff, to a specialised medical facility in Lagos, which is one of the major cities in Nigeria.
The wreckage was terrifying. Anthony Joshua's Lexus SUV, destroyed on one of Nigeria's most dangerous highways, had just claimed 2 innocent lives. 2 of Joshua's closest confidants, his strength coach and personal trainer, were gone in an instant, taken from him in a brutal, unexpected flash. Yet the heavyweight champion himself, seated on the opposite side, miraculously emerged with only minor injuries, a chilling testament to fate amidst the carnage. But the full, agonizing truth of that day, and the shocking lack of humanity that followed, is far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined.
Like, quick, get Joshua on the horn, ASAP. We need to hear from him about what he's feeling right now so I can write about it and make money off it real quickly in my piece. What do you mean he doesn't want to talk to us? That doesn't make any sense. Fine, alright, I'll just go ahead and say he couldn't be reached for a comment. How selfish. I understand it's just like standard journalism, but that kind of thing always just rubs me the wrong way in the event of a tragedy where they try and like reach out to whoever survived it or something as quickly as they can so they can be like the first outlet to have a statement from them. I don't know, that never really fully sits right with me. Anyway though, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't normally cover things like this, but when I was learning about this story, I don't know man, it was just such a terrible thing, and it's a very scary reminder of just how quickly life can change, where things can be going amazing for you in life, right? Like Anthony Joshua just recently was talking about having the best weekend of his life with everything going on. And then just from out of nowhere, at the height of everything going really well, a heartbreaking tragedy can occur. It's just sad and scary. It's just fucking terrifying. You've just got to cherish life every second of it. Every second you spend in this corporeal realm is a gift. And, you know, it's just, you never know what can happen. So I'm wishing the best to the families of Latz and Cena moving forward, and wishing a speedy recovery to Anthony Joshua and the other survivor from this tragedy. And I just kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit because when I was reading about it, man,
This wasn't just an accident. It was a profound, life-altering tragedy. The two men tragically lost were identified as Sina Garmi, Joshua's strength and conditioning coach, and Latifi Odeli, his personal trainer. These were not just colleagues. They were close friends and integral parts of his inner circle, making their sudden absence all the more devastating. Their loss sent immediate shockwaves through the entire boxing community, reminding everyone of the fragile line between celebration and heartbreak. Their connection to Joshua ran deep, a bond forged through years of relentless training and shared ambition, now irrevocably severed by a twist of fate on a disastrous day. This tragedy wasn't just about a champion. It was about the profound personal loss he endured.
I think it will take longer for Anthony Joshua to get back in the ring now. The other side of it, Raheem, is that he may feel that he wants to go in there to do something for their families, to make their names resonant, to fight in memory of his friends and his aides. And only he will know right now. And we haven't had a statement from him yet, have we? So I expect that will come in the next few days. And you just wonder whether he doesn't need to fight anymore. He doesn't have to earn money anymore. He's incredibly wealthy, generationally wealthy. He may even decide that's it. This is a sign. That's it. But he may decide it's the opposite. There's so many, I mean, this is conjecture from me now, but it will be very interesting to see what he says and how he moves from here.
The incident unfolded on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, a notorious stretch of road in Nigeria chillingly known as one of the country's deadliest due to heavy traffic and hazardous conditions, especially during the festive season. At approximately 11 a.m. local time, Joshua's black Lexus collided violently with a stationary red truck, instantly transforming a routine journey into a scene of unimaginable devastation. This wasn't a minor fender bender. It was a high-impact crash on a road where safety is often a luxury, not a given. The sheer force of the impact left eyewitnesses stunned, highlighting the road's perilous reputation in the most tragic way possible.
Stars in the sport of boxing, and the fact that he has just come off a massive moment for his career, and his notoriety and his spotlight is a big reason why he's back home in Nigeria in the first place. And this story obviously starts with his name, but it doesn't end there. As Anthony Joshua, luckily by the grace of God, and by the way, I should say, prayers to everybody involved and their families, to those that have passed. I pray for grace for their family in this heightened era of social media where everybody is more focused on the attention grabbing, on the headline, on the click. And as we'll see in a second, more people are focused on filming at the scene of a crime versus having some damn grace and some humility and trying to help people. But just an all-around awful situation. Joshua was, like I said, in Nigeria with two of his best friends. Again, I want to be sensitive here. I don't know the full names of these people, but and I certainly won't be showing any video of the deceased in today's video. I've seen that video going around on Twitter today, and again, makes me sick to my stomach to watch people parade around videos of the deceased laying deceased in the road and showing them no grace. That's just disgusting.
Initial reports surrounding the crash's exact cause presented conflicting details. One account suggested the Lexus lost control during a risky overtaking maneuver, slamming directly into the parked truck. Another report, however, indicated a sudden tire issue may have been the catalyst, leading the vehicle to strike a stationary car before the catastrophic impact. The precise sequence of events remains shrouded in the chaotic aftermath, but both scenarios paint a picture of sudden, unavoidable disaster. What is clear is that a seemingly ordinary drive spiraled into an irreversible catastrophe in mere seconds. Minutes after the horrific collision, chilling images and videos began circulating rapidly across social media platforms, capturing the raw, immediate aftermath. Crowds of onlookers quickly gathered around the mangled wreckage, their phones recording the grim scene. Footage showed a dazed and shaken Anthony Joshua emerging from the crushed vehicle, a sight that plastered national newspaper front pages and back pages, making the tragedy undeniable. This public exposure, raw and unfiltered, brought the reality of the crash home to millions before any official statements could even be released. The digital age amplified the horror for the entire world to witness. Despite the catastrophic nature of the crash, Joshua miraculously survived with relatively minor physical injuries. Although he was described as badly shaken up and physically okay by those who spoke to him, he was swiftly evacuated from the scene and taken to a specialized medical facility in Lagos, where his condition was confirmed as stable and under observation. The fact that anyone, let alone a man of Joshua's stature, walked away from such a scene alive was immediately dubbed nothing short of a miracle by commentators. It was a testament to sheer luck, or perhaps something more profound, in the face of absolute destruction. The initial moments post-crash revealed a disturbing lack of empathy from some quarters of the media. A CNN article, for instance, concluded by stating Joshua could not immediately be reached for a comment, a detail that sparked outrage among boxing figures. Charles White Jr., known as Pinkin, vehemently criticized this, asking why any outlet would bother seeking a statement from someone just hours after a fatal accident that claimed two close friends. This immediate demand for a quote exposed a shocking lack of humanity. Prioritizing a scoop over genuine compassion for a man in deep trauma, it was a stark reminder of media insensitivity. Matchroom Boxing, Joshua's promoter, later released an official statement confirming the tragic news. Their message conveyed profound sadness at the passing of Sina Garmi and Latif Ayodele, acknowledging them as close friends and members of Joshua's team. The statement also verified Joshua's injuries, his hospitalization for checks and treatment, and his stable condition under observation. This official confirmation added gravity to the already horrifying reports, formalizing the devastating loss that had befallen the champion and his wider professional family. It was a somber moment for the boxing world, grieving alongside their star. The unexpected nature of the tragedy was underscored by Joshua's own social media activity just days prior. His most recent Instagram story showcased a casual, joyful moment, a video of him playing table tennis with one of the men who passed. This poignant glimpse into their friendship, captured just before fate intervened, made the suddenness of the loss even more heartbreaking and surreal for fans worldwide. It was a stark visual reminder that life can pivot from celebration to profound sorrow in an instant, leaving behind only the ghost of happier times. The innocence of that clip became a painful memory. The trip to Nigeria itself was meant to be a joyous occasion, a time for celebration and family gatherings during the festive period following Joshua's recent success in the ring. Instead, what was intended as a festive homecoming for the champion and his team ended in an unimaginable nightmare. The shift from an anticipated period of warmth and connection with loved ones to sudden, profound heartbreak served as a brutal contrast, deepening the tragedy. This wasn't just a holiday gone wrong. It was the cruelest possible twist of fate, shattering plans and futures in one devastating moment. Further emotional details emerged, revealing the selfless reason for the trip. His uncle shared that Sina, a successful gym owner, accompanied Joshua simply because he didn't want AJ to ever be alone during their planned extended stay. Tragically, both Sina and Latifi were seated on the opposite side of the car to Joshua when the impact occurred, dying instantly. This act of loyal friendship, culminating in such a devastating outcome, paints an even more poignant picture of the bond they shared. It is a heartbreaking testament to his dedication, turning a simple gesture into a profound sacrifice. Despite his miraculous survival, Joshua was reportedly in significant pain after the crash. Sources close to the fighter revealed he experienced searing pain in his knees and cried out in agony as he was rescued from the wreckage. While tests thankfully confirmed no fractures, his physical suffering was undeniable, requiring him to remain hospitalized over the new year for observation and care. The emotional scars would undoubtedly run deeper, but the immediate physical trauma was a grim reminder of the brutal forces he endured. His body bore the marks of an ordeal that could have claimed his life entirely. Boxing legend Johnny Nelson offered a profound reflection on the tragedy, emphasizing how fights and rivalries pale into utter insignificance when confronted with real loss. He pointed out that losing two young men, someone's children, brothers, and friends, so suddenly provides a stark and invaluable perspective. Such events, Nelson stressed, hit hard emotionally, compelling everyone to truly value the people closest to them, for life can change in an instant. This incident wasn't just about boxing. It was a brutal, universal lesson in the fragility and preciousness of every single moment. Nelson further highlighted the immense mental and emotional trauma that witnessing such a sudden and violent tragedy would inflict, not just on Joshua, but on anyone involved. He noted that while boxers possess incredible mental fortitude, death affects everyone differently, and even the strongest hearts can break. Imagining the horror of being involved in or seeing such a scene firsthand, he explained, is something most people only experience in movies. This wasn't merely a physical accident.
There's the right hand. Jake Paul goes down again. And he's fired. He's to keep moving them feet like
It was a shocking, life-altering experience designed to leave deep, indelible scars on the psyche. John Fury, known for his no-nonsense candor, weighed in with a heartfelt and cautionary message. He called Anthony Joshua a lucky guy for surviving the crash, acknowledging a guardian angel watched over him. Fury extended condolences to the families of the deceased and used the tragedy as a stark warning about the fragility of life on the roads, especially during holidays. He stressed the paramount importance of driving sober, focused, and in a sound mind, reminding everyone that tragedy can strike even when everything seems dandy and you feel most vulnerable. It was a plea for vigilance and responsibility. The unexpected nature of the incident also sparked speculation about Joshua's future from figures like singer Iggy Azalea. She described the crash as so fucked up, so crazy, wondering aloud if such a traumatic event might lead Joshua to step back entirely from the public eye, or even reconsider his illustrious boxing career. The profound personal loss of close friends and trainers, coupled with his own near-death experience, could understandably prompt a reevaluation of his priorities and path forward. Would this tragedy be the catalyst for a premature retirement or a quiet retreat from the spotlight? Gareth A. Davies, a prominent boxing analyst, underscored the significant emotional and psychological toll the crash would inevitably take on Joshua. While physical injuries might not be severe, he emphasized that losing two close friends and integral team members, individuals who provided mental, psychological, and spiritual scaffolding, would be a monumental challenge to overcome. Davies suggested that recovery would involve not just physical healing, but profound emotional processing, especially with potential fights, including a rumored Riyadh matchup on the distant horizon. The mental fight ahead for Joshua could be his toughest yet. Davies further speculated that the accident could significantly delay Anthony Joshua's return to the ring. However, he also raised a compelling, albeit poignant, counterpoint. Joshua might choose to channel his grief into a powerful motivating factor, deciding to fight in honor of his lost friends, keeping their memory alive through his continued career. With his generational wealth, Joshua isn't compelled to fight for money, meaning his next move will be purely his own deeply personal decision. It is a crossroads where he must choose between stepping away or transforming tragedy into a powerful legacy. The distressing aftermath was further compounded by the disturbing behavior of some individuals at the scene. Wade Plemons expressed disgust at seeing graphic videos circulating on social media featuring images of the deceased, calling it a lack of respect and compassion. He vehemently criticized those who prioritized filming and sharing such footage over offering help or showing basic human decency. This insensitivity turned a personal tragedy into a grotesque spectacle, robbing the victims and their families of dignity in their most vulnerable moment. It was a chilling commentary on the intrusive nature of modern media. Plemons also drew attention to the stark realities of emergency response infrastructure in Nigeria. He noted the striking absence of formal services, no ambulances, EMTs, or proper scene management, even for a high-profile figure like Anthony Joshua. Instead, Joshua was seen being assisted by bystanders and pulled into a police car. While Plemons avoided criticizing Nigeria directly, he expressed frustration that the victims and survivors weren't afforded even basic respect, care, and dignity, particularly in a fatal accident. It was a sobering observation of systemic shortcomings in a moment of critical need. The contrast between Joshua's celebrity status and the ground-level chaos was stark. Here was one of Nigeria's richest and most famous exports, worth an estimated £150 million. Yet in his moment of greatest vulnerability, he was reliant on ordinary citizens and a standard police vehicle. This wasn't the organized, sterile response one might expect for a global icon. It highlighted a universal truth. In the face of sudden, overwhelming tragedy, everyone is reduced to their basic humanity, and the infrastructure, or lack thereof, becomes painfully apparent. Even immense wealth cannot buy immediate professional emergency care. The tragedy, viewed through the lens of various commentators, reveals a deeply unsettling narrative about life's unpredictability. Days after one of his biggest career wins, Anthony Joshua found his world utterly shattered. This sudden shift from triumph to unimaginable heartbreak serves as a terrifying reminder that joy and sorrow can coexist on the same timeline, and everything can change in a fleeting second. It is a stark, visceral lesson in cherishing every moment, because the future, even for a champion, is never promised and is always precarious. This wasn't just an accident. It was a profound, life-altering experience. Ultimately, this horrific incident transcends the boxing world, offering a sobering reflection on human vulnerability and the true cost of loss. It compels us to question our priorities, to value relationships over rivalries, and to demand dignity for all, even in the most chaotic circumstances. As Anthony Joshua grapples with unspeakable grief and trauma, his story stands as a testament to survival, but more importantly, as a powerful, tragic echo reminding us that life's most precious gifts are often the people we share it with. May the memory of Sina and Latifi serve as a perpetual reminder of life's fragile, invaluable essence.